50% of 1st and 2nd Chronicles is copied word for word from Samuel and Kings. Why repeat all of that history we've already read? Besides being incredibly boring, isn't that just a waste of space in our Bibles? That's what I used to think. But now I'm convinced that this repetition is actually the most fascinating part of the book. Every line of 1st and 2nd Chronicles then becomes another puzzle to solve. And the key to solving that puzzle and the message of the whole book of Chronicles is in comparing Chronicles to its source material in Samuel and Kings. Think of Chronicles like a quilt. Okay, here is the quilt of 1st and 2nd Chronicles. And 50% of that quilt, all these boxes in blue, are taken right from the source material, Samuel and Kings. But the interpretive key to understanding and unlocking the book of Chronicles is in that other 50%. And so we can solve the puzzle of Chronicles by asking 3 questions. First, what did the chronicler add? That's my little green boxes here. What did he add to his source materials? And second, what narratives did the chronicler take out of Samuel and Kings? We don't want to include those things. And then finally, purple, what narratives did he go in and tweak or edit or change the wording slightly? If this makes sense to you, I'd appreciate it if you like this video. And if you'd like a copy of this chart, maybe for a small group Bible study, you can download it for free in the description below, where you can also subscribe so you don't miss next week's chart. Let's get back to those 3 questions and the secret that undoes the boredom of 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Well, I have all of the chapters of Chronicles and Samuel and Kings lined up for you here on the 2nd page of this chart. And remember, our key, blue, these are all of the narratives or the chapters that Chronicles is just going to take right from Samuel or from Kings. 1 Kings Chronicles matches 2 Samuel 6. 2 Chronicles 10 matches 1 Kings 12. But then these moments in green, these are additions where the chronicler is going to add 1 Chronicles 12. He's going to add 2 Chronicles 30 and 31. Let's take a look at orange, however. These are narratives from Samuel and Kings that the chroniclers removed. He did not include in his book. So here in 2 Samuel chapter 1, this is the death of Saul. And then in 2 Samuel 2 to 4, this is David's struggle for the throne with Saul's son, Ishbosheth. You remember that? Let's jump over to 2 Samuel 2. Notice here that David, he is made king. He's anointed king over all of Judah. But then Abner, the commander of Saul's army, he's going to take Ishbosheth, Saul's son, and make him king over all Israel in the north. David's king of Judah in the south. And it's not until chapter 4 where Ishbosheth is murdered and David becomes king over all Israel and Judah. What's the point? Well, the chronicler is presenting an idealized picture of the Davidic monarchy, where David is king over all Israel from the very beginning. That is also why the chronicler removes this string of chapters from 2 Samuel 12 to 20. Remember, in chapter 12, that's when David commits adultery with Bathsheba. And then in 15, we have the rebellion of Absalom. And in 20, the rebellion of Sheba. And then do you remember that unfortunate chapter, 1 Kings 11, which talks about Solomon's many wives and the temples that he built for their foreign gods? The chronicler is going to take these 2 negative stories from Samuel and Kings, and he will rip them out of the quilt of Chronicles. These are like patches in the quilt of Chronicles, and the chronicler will tear those right out. Do you like all these silly pictures I have here? I use these diagrams to help teach through each of the books of the Bible. And if you're interested in doing a deep dive on one of these books of the Bible, you can check out my course in the description below. But how could the chronicler do this? It's not right to erase all of the sins of David and Solomon. You see, he's not trying to hide the skeletons in David's closet. His readers are familiar with these stories. They can go to Samuel, they can go to Kings and read about them if they want. The chronicler has a different purpose. His goal is to recraft these stories from the past in order to generate hope for the future. Specifically, he wants to use David as a literary model or a portrait or a picture of the future coming Messiah. This future Messiah will rule over all Israel. He will rebuild the temple, and he's going to wear a funny thing on his chest like that. Now, what do you think that is? Exodus 28 describes a 12-stone breastplate of judgment woven into the ephod worn by Aaron, the high priest. Okay, who cares? Well, stick with me. This is going to get a little bit complicated. The chronicler is going to add references to priests and Levites everywhere throughout his book. He's going to put a Levite here, and he's going to put another Levite here, and another Levite there, all throughout 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Now, the word Levite is going to occur one time in 1st Samuel. It will occur one time in 2nd Samuel, twice in 1st Kings, and 0 times in 2nd Kings. Guess how many times Levite occurs in 1st Chronicles? 48 times, and then another 65 times in 2nd Chronicles. Why? Well, the book of 1st and 2nd Chronicles is all about the Messiah. This Messiah will be a sinless son of David. He will rule over all Israel. He will build the temple, and he will be a king priest. Now, this king priest, he won't be from the tribe of Levi, and he won't be from the order of Aaron. Rather, he will be a priest from the order of Melchizedek, which we learn about in Psalm 110. Now, Psalms, like Psalm 110, are not meant to be read alone. We are supposed to read each individual psalm in the context of the psalms that come before it and the psalms that come after it. And if you'd like to learn how to do that, you should check out this next video.